Good afternoon, everyone. Surgeon here. And this afternoon, I'm going to rediscuss the first topic that we tackled this morning. Okay. So what you see on the screen is an image of the solar system. At the center of the solar system is the star called the sun. And revolving around the sun are the 8 planets from Mercury down to Neptune. So obviously, as human beings, we only reside at the only habitable planet as of the moment, which is planet Earth. So planet Earth has 3 layers: gaseous layer called the atmosphere, liquid layer called the hydrosphere, and the solid layer called the lithosphere. So for our lesson for today, we will only focus on the solid layer of the planet Earth called the lithosphere. Based on the background image, there are a total of 4 layers of the Earth's lithosphere. So let's discuss them one by one. Here is the cross-sectional image. So at the topmost, we have the crust. Below the crust, the one marked with orange is the mantle. And then below the mantle is the core. So core is divided into 2 parts. The first one is outer core. And the bottommost layer is the inner core. So now that we labeled the layers of the Earth's lithosphere, it's time to identify their characteristics and or properties. So naturally, we human beings and other living organisms can only survive at the crust. Okay? So therefore, the characteristic that is attributed to crust is it is the only habitable layer. So why? It's because most of the natural resources and basic necessities can be found on the crust. Basic necessities such as food, water, air, shelter, etc., etc., even the materialistic things, and natural resources such as water forms and land forms. Mantle, on the other hand, as you can see in the diagram, is represented by deep color orange. That's because it's the magma reservoir. And now you're left with outer core and inner core. Both are considered ball of metals, but only one of them is liquid and the other one is solid. So for the outer core, it is the liquid ball of metals, the source of the magnetic field. While on the other hand, inner core is the solid ball of metals and is considered the center of gravity. So remember, no, when we throw things up in the air, all of them have the natural tendency to go down or to fall because of the force called gravity. But the reason why those objects do not immediately fall towards the inner core, it's because it's barricaded by the 3 layers above it. We have the crust, mantle, and the outer core to barricade falling objects from the inner core. But as you know, all objects are attracted to the inner core due to gravity. Okay, now a lot of people are confused between magma and lava. They're technically the same. Both of them involve molten rocks. So basically when rocks melt, they turn to magma and lava. The difference lies in their position or direction, no? So when we say magma, it refers to molten rocks inside a volcano. So remember, mantle is the magma reservoir. So magma is found inside the mantle or below the crust or or inside a volcano. On the other hand, once the volcano erupts, it's not magma anymore, it's called lava. That's the erupted magma. Now, let's arrange the layers of the Earth's lithosphere according to the following parameters. Let's start with depth. From shallowest or topmost to deepest, the bottommost. So, because crust is at the topmost, therefore we start our arrangement with crust. And the layer below it is mantle, and the layer below the mantle is outer core, and the layer below it is the inner core. So that makes crust the shallowest layer, and inner core, the deepest layer in terms of depth or height. Next, how about thickness? When we say thick, when we arrange the layers in terms of thickness, we arrange it from thinnest to thickest. So judging by their edges, no? So crust happens to be the thinnest, followed by the inner core, and then outer core, and the thickest is mantle. Now, when it comes to the third parameter, which is density, we arrange them from lightest to heaviest. So remember, lighter objects tend to float, and when they float, they remain on top, while heavy objects tend to sink, and when they sink, they go at the bottom. So because crust is the topmost layer, that means it is the lightest. And below it is the mantle, and below mantle is the outer core. So that makes inner core the heaviest of the four layers. So density trends follow the depth trends as well. They have the same trajectory basically. Now, for temperature, we arrange it from hottest to coldest. So let's be guided by this simulation from PET. Let me just share my screen. Okay, let me just manipulate the settings and then zoom this out. All right. Even if we don't have the exact temperature values and ranges from crust down to inner core, we can use the thermometer from the toolbox here. So as you can see, the temperature somewhere near the crust is pretty low, while as we descend and sink deeper, no, the number of thermometer increases until inner core. So that makes the topmost layer the coldest layer and the bottommost layer the hottest layer. So let's go back to my PowerPoint presentation. Ayan. So temperature, coldest is crust, and then followed by mantle, then outer core, and inner core happens to be the hottest. So you might be wondering, why is crust the coldest out of the four, no? That's because, as you can see, both core and inner core are solid ball of metals. This is where radioactive decay happens. And as you know, metals are the best conductors of thermal conductors or conductors of heat. Compared to crust, wherein we contain not only metals but also non-metals and metalloids as well. And the source of our heat is sun, which takes 8 minutes to reach the planet Earth, compared to outer core and inner core, wherein the radioactive decay is concentrated within it. That's why inner core is the hottest and crust is the coldest. Now, let's review and recap by identifying the layer of the Earth's lithosphere. Number one, the hottest layer is the inner core. The lightest layer is the crust. The coldest layer is also the crust. The thickest layer is the mantle. The thinnest layer and the topmost layer is the crust. The heaviest layer happens to be inner core. The only liquid layer happens to be outer core. So you might be wondering, why is outer core the only liquid layer out of the four layers of the lithosphere, no? It's because the outer core is already surrounded by two uh solid materials such as the mantle and the inner core. So as the tendency, when you are surrounded with too much heat, you become to melt. That's why outer core is the only liquid layer. It's incomparable to that of the mantle. So as if you can see, mantle is situated between the crust and the outer core. But because mantle is still thick enough compared to the crust, which is very thin, no, mantle and crust remain solid pa rin. Now, bottommost layer happens to be inner core. Magma is located inside the mantle, and the only habitable layer is the crust. You will die, or we will die, all the living organisms will die in the mantle and the core due to the extreme heat. We will burn first, then eventually die if we happen to travel in it. Now, let's move on to the crust by revisiting the seven continents first. Okay, so let's start with the biggest continent, which is marked here by color orange. That's Asia, followed by the yellow continent here, which is Africa, and then the light green continent, which is North America. And then below North America is the fourth largest continent in dark green, that's South America. And then to be followed by the mostly icy continent, which is Antarctica, the one in blue. Next is Europe, the one in red. And the smallest continent, which also happens to be a country, is Australia. So planet Earth is mostly 25% land, and surrounding the continents is the oceans, which is basically an amalgamation of several sources of water. No, so we have five major oceans. So the largest happens to be the Pacific Ocean, which is at the right of Asia and the left of both North and South Americas. And then the second largest is Atlantic. This is where Titanic sank. And then third is the Indian Ocean. Now, for the fourth and fifth, which are Antarctic and Arctic, one of them is found at the South Pole, one of them is found at the Pole. So Antarctic Ocean is found near the South Pole, and the smallest ocean, Arctic, is found at the North Pole. So the reason why we revisited the seven continents and five major oceans is because we have two types of crust supporting them. So supporting the continents is the continental crust, and supporting the oceans is the oceanic crust. So once again, from the name itself, continental crust, it mostly supports continents, while oceanic crust mainly supports oceans. So as you can see, both continental crust and oceanic crust, they are not on the same level with each other, no? And that is because primarily to the different rock compositions. So continental crust is mostly made up of granite, while oceanic crust is mostly made out of basalt. Now, as you can see as well, continental crust is bigger and thicker as well as lighter compared to oceanic crust. It appears to be somewhat elevated, while oceanic crust, which is found at the uh, below the sea level, is thinner and heavier compared to the continental crust. So just remember the four the four underlined words associated with each type of crust. So for continental, supports continents, mostly made of granite, and thicker and lighter. While oceanic crust supports oceans, is mostly made of basalt and thinner and heavier. Now, before we end our recap, let's review first. So the lighter crust and the thicker crust happen to be continental crust. The thinner and heavier crust happens to be oceanic crust. The one that supports the ocean is oceanic crust. The one that supports the continents is the continental crust. The one mostly made of basalt is oceanic crust. And last but definitely not the least, the one mostly made of granite is continental crust. And that's it for our discussion for today. I hope you learned a lot from the four layers of the Earth's lithosphere and the differences between the continental and oceanic crust. Be ready for our very first performance task tomorrow. As I always say, let's call it a day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.